If you will allow me to get something off my chest and indulge myself for just a couple of minutes, I'd appreciate it because I'm about to tell you something you may not know. My father was killed by a truck driver who lost control of his vehicle and killed him when I was young. So, I grew up without a father in the grand scheme of things. So I think I have a little dog in the fight when it comes to talking about what I'm about to talk about. You see, coming up here in the state of Indiana, and I mean throughout the state of Indiana, something called the Safer Roads Campaign. It starts on Saturday, the April 4th, and it runs through April the 13th. And what police officers are going to be out there doing is looking for people speeding. That's one thing. And then looking for people on their cell phones when they shouldn't be. Now, those are two things that really irritate me. In fact, people speeding is bad enough. They have the signs posted on the roads, and apparently here in Indiana, everybody thinks they're Mario Andretti. Yeah, the way they drive. Speed limits are apparently just a guess in most places. People go by you like you're standing still. They're standing jokes talking about driving down the interstate, the right lane, the left lane, the passing lane, and how people go as fast as they want to go because they think nothing's going to happen to them and they're not going to be, not going to be ticketed, charged, or anything else. That's one that really bothers me. And the biggest place I see it is in school zones. In school zones, when the traffic light and the light is blinking, it says 20 miles an hour. 20 miles an hour. So what I do is I slow my car down to 20 miles an hour. I'll get somebody who's riding on my bumper who's as close to me as they could probably kiss my bumper if they want to, because they're angry that I'm driving 20 miles an hour in a school zone where the light is blinking. Those are the law, folks. It's 20 miles an hour. Now I'll say to myself, why isn't there a cop around when I need one? One to pull this person over and give him a ticket. Well, that's vent number one that angers me, but let me tell you vent number two that's even worse. Vent number two is people talking on their cell phones. We have a law in Indiana, believe it or not. It's called the hands-free law. And that was enacted many years ago that says you can't be on your cell phone while you're driving. Well, apparently here in Indiana, they either one, don't know the law, or two, ignore the law. But you're not alone, frankly, if you're doing that, because Tiger Woods, at his most recent crash down in Jupiter Island, Florida, said, well, he was on his phone and he was jiggling with the radio and he didn't see what was going on, and that's the reason he got into a wreck and overturned his Land Rover. That's what he says. That's his complaint, or that's his what he's filing, and that's what he's going to stand on when he goes in front of a jury of his peers. Not that I'm sure there's any people who've got as much money as he does on a jury. Just a sidelight opinion. But the thing I hate most is seeing people on their cell phones, especially when they're in an intersection at a stoplight and they're standing there, or they're sitting in a car talking to somebody, and you see them doing it, and the light's green. Now, you want to honk your horn at them, but they're going, nah, don't want to get into a thing, and don't want to get into a road rage situation. But they're just sitting there talking. Most cars today, newer cars today, it's all electronic. You push a button on the steering wheel, you can talk to someone. It's interconnected on your car. But apparently a lot of people who don't have that say, it doesn't matter, I'm just going to talk on my cell phone because I want to. Well, there's law. There's laws that we have on the books, and they're going to be enforced, at least I hope they're going to be enforced, from the 4th of April to the 13th of April. Now I realize many folks are going to go, well, I'm just going to slow down. I'm going to not touch my cell phone from the 4th to the 13th, and then I'm going to go back to using it because the police will no longer be watching. Sadly, that's probably what's going to happen. But I can tell you, as one who lost a parent to people driving, that I hope they enforce the laws, not just the 4th through the 13th, because in 2023, there were 249 speeding fatalities here in the state of Indiana, and 47, I thought it was 49, but it's actually 47, 47 distracted fatalities just in 2023. If you're not paying attention, if you're on your cell phone and you're driving like a bat out of hell because, well, you think you can, especially in school zones when the lights are blinking, I don't have any pity for you. I hope you get slammed. I hope you get caught. That's my opinion. And I'm saying this because, as I said earlier, I lost my father to a truck driver, lost control of his vehicle. Just saying what happens. Well, it could happen to you. Pray it doesn't. But now, you know.